Hey everyone, welcome to a brand new video of Mario Kart Deluxe. Mario Kart Stadium is the first track of the game, and an essential basis for all the other tracks. In fact, despite being a beginner track, it is one of the most technical tracks in the entire game. So, let's dive into it. I'm your host Justin, and this is WorldLove Gaming Masterclass Episode 1. Because this is the first episode in the WorldLove Gaming Masterclass series, I'm going to explain what I'll be doing. First, I'll show some very basic time trial lines, after which I'm going to show techniques on how to save more time. I'll also show more alternate techniques for different use cases. Following that, I'll show my personal best, as well as some world records and what they do. And finally, if there are any useful item strats for online or competitive play, I'll mention them at the end. Without any further ado, here we go. To start off, we need a combo to use. To make things as easy as possible, I am going to use WLG, Wild Wiggler, Azure Rollers and Cloud Glider as my combination. This is because this is the best combo in the entire game, and what everyone uses online. If you have only just bought the game, these parts will be unavailable. Luckily, however, you can replace your vehicle with the standard bike, rollers and the parachute. This combo has the exact same stats as the before mentioned one. If you for whatever reason hate both of these combos, remember that there are a total of 96 combos with the same stats. I'll show the parts on screen right now, so you can achieve the same stats. Now on to the lines. As you can see, I've got an input monitor below, so you can see what buttons and stick positions are pressed and used at any given time. To start, you want to get a perfect starting boost by pressing the A or Y button at the right time. When you leave your starting point, you want to hold your joystick at a 20-degree angle for a brief moment. When you reach the shadow of the building above, you want to drift to the right, collecting one coin in the process to get blue sparks, a mini turbo. After this, align your kart with the right side of the track, and when you reach the end of the red and white curbs, you want to charge an ultra mini turbo or purple sparks. Start drifting wide, before drifting tight for the apex, after which you want to go wide and the exit until you get purple sparks. After that, drive to one of the coins, ideally the most left one, before aligning your kart with the next corner's apex. When approaching the first of the circular ground lights, do a left drift into blue sparks. Drive with your kart aligned with the next apex and start a right drift into another mini turbo, collecting the 2 coins in the process. After finishing that drift, immediately start another one to the left, using the same wide-side wide technique as in the first hairpin to get purple sparks. After that, trick off the glider ramp and aim for the upper right corner of the middle coin of the left coin patch. That should allow you to get 3 coins, but if you only get 2, it isn't the end of the world. Hold up to descend after that, after which you start holding the drift button just before landing to do a soft drift. That's because you need to align for the shortcut. To do the shortcut, you want to aim for the first red curb and use your mushroom in between the pipes to the right and the wall to the left. When exiting the off-road, do another tight to wide drift to the left for another mini turbo. On lap 2 is basically rinse and repeat. The only changes occur at the first corner, the straight after the first hairpin and at the glider. You can now take a tight line at the first corner because the coin you collected no longer exists. Simply charge a mini turbo and you're good to go. On the straight at the exit of turn 2, you now want to grab the middle coin to up your coin count to 8. Finally, at the glider you want to aim in between the only 2 coins that are left to hopefully collect both and maximize your coin count. This is a bit tricky as even I'm struggling with it, but it shouldn't be too hard. On lap 3, you just want to descend to this section to get an even tighter alignment for the shortcut, entering the off-road before the curbs. When everything's done correctly, you should get a time of around 1 minute 44. The first technique we're going to save some time with is a small shortcut before the second hairpin. On lap 2, when you've already collected the 2 coins at the right hander, it's faster to cut off a small portion of the turn. Start drifting when you align with the final pole to the right and do a sharp drift to the right for a mini turbo. After that, hop from the middle of the curbs and when you land, hop into a sharp left for an ultra mini turbo. This takes about 0.3 seconds per race or 0.15 seconds per lap, so a time around 1 minute 43.5 should be achievable. The second technique will be one of the most lucrative strats. Instead of charging an ultra mini turbo as the second turn, you can charge a super mini turbo or orange sparks and cut off the corner. To do this, drift wide and go tight just after. Get used to drifting wide into tight by the way, as you'll be doing it on every single track in the game. As you enter the off-road, release your super mini turbo and you can do hops before exiting the off-road with the final hop. Watch out for bubbles though, as they'll be left behind with no way to avoid them. This takes 1.5 seconds per race, so a time of 1:42 should be achievable. However, due to a sloppy final lap I only got 1 minute 42.5 here, but you get the point. Next up, we've got 3 more techniques that can save quite some time. First, let's start with a new strata at the beginning shortcut. At the first strip of shadow, do a wide to tight drift when you approach the coin into a super mini turbo. When you release your drift, do 2 hops to the left before the second super mini turbo. This might be easier with Bitty Buggy or Mr. Scooty instead of Wild Wiggler because of mini turbo bonus, but I can consistently do this with Wild Wiggler. The second technique is on the corner after the ramp shortcut. On the middle of the first spotlight, you can do a left hop, then do a drift to the right, and you can charge a super mini turbo instead of a normal mini turbo. This can only be done on lap 1 though, because the corner skip is still faster. Finally, instead of doing 2 left mini turbos at a shortcut, you can charge them a super mini turbo by slip drifting and bumping into the wall on the side. All these changes are about 0.7 seconds faster per race, and I was able to get a time of 1 minute 41.3, only 0.9 behind my personal best. Now that leaves the question, why is my PB still faster? Well, first of all, I do this small ramp shortcut. To do this, you start drifting to the left to charge blue sparks, then hop at this red curb. Hop as you land and then shake the trick. This takes a bit of time, but I wouldn't go for it online, as you missed the double item box and it only saves 0.1 seconds per lap. The second thing I did was switch to an anti-gravity suited build, being Wario, Mach 8, Leaf Tires and Cloud Glider. This combo has near maximum anti-gravity speed possible, at 5.25, as well as still decent enough mini turbo stat, at 3.5. This used to be the world's record combo, and it's up to 1 second faster than a Waluigi Wiggler combo. My personal best stands at 1 minute 40.461. Now onto some more alternate techniques. The final corner can be skipped shroomless with a relatively easy shortcut. To do this shortcut, instead of releasing your Ultra Mini Turbo right away, drift wide and bounce off the wall to the left last minute. Don't release your drift manually until the game does so, because it's faster. Hold down and stay near the left side of the track. When you're near the pipes, hold southwest and northwest when you've cleared the off-road. Charge the right mini turbo and immediately do the first super mini turbo for the shortcut. Keep in mind that people will block this shortcut with banana peels online, so watch out for that. Not only that, but if you receive a spin boost, you might not hit the wall and your glider will be cancelled. If you've got good reflexes however, you can release your mini turbo at the end of the ramp instead to still get a glider. Another stretch you can do online if you have a bullet bill is this bullet bill extension area. First, do the shroomless ramp shortcut, and after you've tricked, use your bullet bill. At most, your bullet bill will drop you off at the final corner. Keep in mind that this is a best case scenario. If you use it in higher positions, it drops you off earlier. There's also one more shortcut that's very useful. By shrooming at the first grass patch, you can bounce off the wall, charge an Ultra Mini Turbo and do the shroomless shortcut at the second corner as well. Finally, we have the most advanced strat in this video. This is Motion Glider, and it works by using motion controls and joystick controls simultaneously. You tilt your controller and your joystick in the bottom right direction and use your mushroom. However, you can also use the D-pad instead of tilting, which is how I did it because I'm using an Xbox controller for this input window. This is very hard, but when done properly, it can save up to 1.2 seconds per lap. On lap 3, if you have 3 mushrooms, you can even do this with 3 mushrooms as well to save even more time. Now on to the world record, set by Byron on July 6th this year. He takes both coins at the start to combat the fact that coins are harder to collect with the Motion Glider shortcut. He also does some more mini turbos after the first shortcut, as well as a very optimized version of the ramp shortcut. He also only just does a normal mini turbo at the 4th corner. Now onto the Motion Glider. I really don't know how he optimizes it so well, as he grabs 3 coins and still clears the gap. Finally, I'll show my current record that utilizes an anti-gravity suited combo that the motionless world record also used. Now, I didn't really do anything I didn't show already, so I'll just talk about something funny about this track. I visited Denmark this summer, and obviously, if you're going to visit Denmark, you have to visit Legoland as well. So, I did. Apart from the obvious giant Lego structures that were visible everywhere, Legoland also had a video game section, with many Nintendo Switches there for people to play some games. Besides games like Lego Harry Potter, they also had Mario Kart Deluxe on one of the Switch Lite consoles. So, obviously, I had to set some records, and without any issues I set at 1 minute 42 on Mario Kart Stadium. I must say that I really like how the Switch Lite feels, it's way more comfortable. Anyway, if you ever decide to visit Legoland anytime soon, I'll challenge you to beat my time. If you've done so, feel free to comment down below with an image or video as proof. Now, thank you all for watching this video. If you found this video useful, be sure to like and share it with others that might appreciate it. Also, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing as it helps out a ton. And finally, please let me know which other tracks you would like to see me cover next. I'm Justin, this was WorldLove Gaming, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye!